Gun control? So if you're watching this and you're a parent, wonderful. If you're watching this and you aren't a parent, not a problem either. If you are a kid and you are watching this, pause the video. Ask your parents to come watch with you. They may agree or disagree with it, but I just want to give a heads up out there. It does have to do with firearms and educating our youth on those firearms. So again, if you are a kid, encourage your parents, your mom or dad, to come watch with you. Make it a family event. Welcome to Dumb Rose Nation. Today I've got Matt and Julia.
Hello. Hello.
Sarah's at a Girl Scout meeting and Mommy is the troop leader. So today is going to be a little different, not just a regular family vlog. What I do want to talk about though is something that's on everyone's mind. It's in the news a lot. And that is gun control, gun safety, all that good stuff. And as you can see, Matt has a Nerf gun here. A Nerf gun, you know, darts. As a parent, we are okay with Nerf guns. You know, they've got these big giant clips that hold, I don't know, 20, 30 darts. That's okay. We've got, you know, and they shoot darts when stuck in here.
Oh,
just like this. Can they do damage? Not particularly, but it's still a gun, right? When we get our kids these Nerf guns, we don't go over safety, and that's a little concerning. But with Matt and Julia, Julia has her own airsoft gun. I'm gonna grab that right here. It's this little pink one. Now, Julia, does it have a safety on it?
It has a safety.
Can you tell the camera? I don't think they can hear you.
It has a safety.
Can you show them where the safety is?
The safety is right here.
Right there.
This little switch.
That little switch, and I have the clip that holds all the little pellets. So Julia, what are you not allowed to shoot?
I'm not allowed to shoot mostly anything else except for paper, and I can't shoot like animals or like all the stuff that you do when you're hunting.
Okay. Are you allowed to play with this when I'm not around?
No.
No? Does Daddy keep it locked up?
Yes.
Yeah, I do. So with the Nerf guns, we don't really go over safety rules that much with our kids. But we do when we start getting into airsoft guns. They don't do much damage. They're little BBs, little plastic BBs. I'm sure you've seen those. And we have to, you know, at least teach them some respect. And some cities and counties have restrictions on kids running around outside playing with air guns. And as you can see, they all have this little orange thing. Now, we don't really talk about trigger safety. We don't really talk about where we point it. We do a little bit, but not necessarily, you know, in the house at a target. We don't really go over that as parents. But then we step up, right? So I'm going to put this one down. Whoops. We step up from those, and we have this. It is a CO2 air pistol. It looks real. It does not have the orange cap. It runs off of a little air cartridge or a CO2 cartridge, and it shoots BBs. These we get a little more strict with on what the rules are. Trigger safety, where to point it, when they can use it. Again, I locked this one up. This one isn't out. And then we get into, and I'm not going to bring out the big guns, but this is right here. This is an SR-22 made by Ruger. This is a real gun. As you can see, it is unloaded. The chamber's empty. The clip is not in it. And we have rules. Matt, have you shot this gun before?
Yeah.
Where?
At a gun range.
At a gun range. And what are some of the rules that you have to abide by?
If there is a problem, set it down right away.
Okay.
And also, well, at a gun range, you are not allowed to take your ear things off.
Ear protection. What else?
Your things?
Never have people in front of you when you shoot it.
Yeah.
Never, when you're shooting, turn it around with the gun in your hand. Always set it down where eye protection.
Anything else?
That's all I can think of right now.
All you can think of right now?
What if you have the gun in your hand before you set it down and you're done shooting, but you still have the gun in your hand, but you don't turn around? Like, right after you're done shooting, would you point it up?
Well, if it's empty, we would want to put the safety back on and put it down. It's much easier to do when you're at the range. Matt just realized, oh, there's a safety. He knows there's a safety. He has shot this gun before. And as you can see, this is the safety. It's an ambidextrous safety.
There's even safeties on rival Nerf
That's
guns
fire.
for people who have.
That's safe. And as Matt just said, some Nerf guns have safeties.
Right.
But every one of these guns, except for the Nerf guns, are locked up. What I want my kids to understand is how to use firearms under my supervision or a qualified instructor's supervision. I don't want my kids to run around with Nerf guns shooting each other because they have vests where they can shoot each other. And then somehow accidentally be somewhere where they're going to run into a real firearm. I don't want that to happen without them understanding the consequences of a real firearm. So, Julia, what could happen if somebody had this? If one of your friends pulled this out, what would you do?
I would run and go tell somebody that they have like a real gun and if it's not on safety, I would tell them that for sure. And if they're like just playing around with it, it could still be dangerous because if they can't remember, if they accidentally hit the safety switch, and they're pretending to like pull the trigger, then it could actually pull the trigger and you could actually get shot.
Matt, what about you? What would you do if you were at your friend's house and they pulled out their rifle, their shotgun, or their dad's handgun? What would you do?
First try to persuade them into putting that back and not taking it out when there's no adult supervision. But if that doesn't work, then since it's pretty hard to aim with guns most of the time, like Julia said, run and get an adult.
So they're absolutely right. I want to educate my kids on firearms. I want to teach them how to shoot, how to handle those firearms in a respectful manner. I don't want them going over to a friend's house and lo and behold, somebody pulls out a gun. It scares me. Now, people are going to argue, well, you want them shooting, you want to educate them, why not let them drink liquor? Well, that is illegal. They are not 21, they cannot drink liquor, they cannot do those things. It is legal for me to take my son, he is old enough to go to the firing range. Julia is not old enough to go to the firing range, so she does not get to go. She gets to use her airsoft gun at appropriate targets with supervision from me. But I feel as though the more we educate our kids, the better chance they're going to have to succeed, one, in life, and two, if they ever get in an argument regarding gun control, they're going to be educated the right way. Now, if they choose later in life that they do not like firearms, wonderful. But I want them to learn as much as they can about why somebody wouldn't want a firearm, be able to argue intelligently. I don't want them to be clueless about what they are standing up for. I am not going to preach about the Second Amendment. I'm not going to preach about the NRA. I'm not going to preach about liberal media. all my point is, as a father, is I want my kids educated about these things. It is legal. It is a scary thing. We teach them when they're helping us in dinner time to use a knife. Now, a knife can be dangerous, but we teach them how to use it and handle it properly. Boiling water, we teach them things on the oven are hot. We teach them sometimes to stay away from certain dogs. We teach them don't run into the street because there's cars. They're not allowed they are not allowed to drive a car until they have a license. In Minnesota, you are not allowed to hunt until you pass a hunter safety class. So there's a lot of things that we do to educate our children, but I think one of the things that we're not doing, and it gets all the way down to these Nerf guns, is educating them on firearm safety. I think if we're going to help our children out in the future, teaching them the universal gun rules. Now, some people say there's 4, some people say there's 12. I look at it as however many rules there are, the more the merrier, right? The more rules you have, the safer you're going to be. But I think if we start educating our kids with Nerf guns, maybe the firearms aren't going to be so scary. When we tell a kid, no, you can't have a cookie, and what do they want? They want the cookie. So instead of saying, no, you can't have a firearm, no, you can't do this, let's educate them about it. Let's teach them about it so they have an understanding and a respect for it. So I know this is kind of a rant, and I know this isn't going to be, you know, your happy-go-lucky family vlog, but it's something that I wanted to talk about as a father of 3, and I have 2 of mine with me here. I wanted people to start thinking about, you know, what are we teaching our kids? Are we educating them on as much as we can, or are we just going to let them accidentally walk into a situation where they're not going to know what to do when somebody may or may not have a firearm? I hope other parents see this. I know not a lot of parents talk about it. I have not seen a lot of videos on YouTube about it, on Facebook about it.
Well,
All I hear is people saying, nope, it's Second Amendment right, no this, no this, no this. But I have my opinions and I don't want to push them on you. But what I want to do is just encourage you to educate your children on firearms. And whether or not that means you want to take them shooting or not, that's up to you. But what I will, say is part of education is understanding the one weapon that we see in the media a lot is the AR-15, which the AR does not stand for assault rifle. It stands for Armalite, the company that created that firearm, which subsequently the patent was sold to Colt. The AR does not stand for assault rifle. So educating people on firearms, fully automatic, semi-automatic, center fire, rimfire, pistol, rifle, shotgun, I think is our duty as parents to help inform our kids so they can make wise decisions in the future. So thanks for watching Dumb Rose Nation. We'll see you next time. And don't forget to
like and subscribe.
like and subscribe, just like they said. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.